Welcome back to the Geek Gospel. I'm Evan Bernstein, and it is a beautiful Thursday morning. Hope everyone is doing well. We got a lot of fun stuff to get into. Lilo and Stitch is just killing it at the box office. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is going to star alongside Tom Holland in Spider-Man 4. And Chris Hemsworth says goodbye to Thor already online. And we got our Harry Potter trio. We got a lot of fun stuff. How is everyone doing today? It has been a week. It's interesting. When there's a holiday, like you have Monday off, sometimes it still feels like the week is just as long as it is if you had Monday for work. So that's how I'm feeling. But man, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I've been watching some good stuff. Sirens is fantastic. If you have not seen that on Netflix, highly recommend it. Recommended it on the last show. Very easy watch, only 5 episodes. What else? Your Friends and Neighbors season finale ends tonight on Apple TV Plus. So really excited about that. And then I don't know. I've been I watched Fountain of Youth. That was pretty bad. I mean, it was okay for the night, but it was not a good movie by any means. Chris and I were talking about how it's just so far and few between that try to emulate Indiana Jones and just fall by the wayside. They don't even come close. So let's get into some fun stuff, though. This isn't going to be a long show. We don't have too much to talk about, but I do want to get into what's been going on this week. And I want to start off with our girl Lilo and our boy Stitch. This movie is going to be $1 billion. I've been saying this for a long time, and pretty much we saw it on Monday, my wife and I, and my overall thoughts are that I really enjoyed it. I know some people had complaints with some of the stuff being left out from the animated movie, the changing of the ending with the older sister. It didn't bother me. There needs to be some changes when it comes to adapting to live action. Sometimes animation just doesn't translate 100% into live action. So it didn't bother me, I would say. I thought, the girl that played Lilo was perfect. Straight rip from the animated movie. And she carried the show. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. My wife thoroughly enjoyed it. You always have the animated movie if you did not thoroughly enjoy it, but I have to say America is loving it, and Stitch is fantastic, of course. Billy Magnuson is really funny in it. It's sometimes a paint by numbers, but with the Hawaii vibes of it all, and this little girl playing Lilo, leading the charge. I mean, she is charming as all heck, and I really think it's a charming movie, and it's a fun, of course, Memorial Day weekend, go to the theaters kind of movie. So I think a lot of other people felt the same way because this bad boy is breaking all the records right now. And this comes to us from the HollywoodReporter.com. This says, talk about threading the needle perfectly. A week ago, no one could have imagined that Disney's live-action reimagining Lilo and Stitch would make box office history and open to a record-breaking $182.6 million during the 4-day Memorial Weekend, including $146 million for the 3 days. Overseas, the live-action redux of the 2002 animated film also exceeded all expectations and starting off with $178.6 million for a global start of $361.2 million against a net budget of $100 million. The pig is adding another milestone to its list today as it crosses the $400 million mark globally, including $200 million domestically in only its 6-day release, more than the total lifetime runs of some of live-action Disney reimaginings. It's already outgrossed the entire 273.1 million global run of the original Lilo and Stitch, not adjusted for inflation. To boot, it's pacing ahead of Minecraft, Warner Brothers' blockbuster movie, at least in North America. It's in its 6-day release, Minecraft had earned 193.2 million. So this bad boy is already outpacing the previous, children's movie hit of the summer, Minecraft. One would be hard pressed to find another movie like Lilo and Stitch. 3 weeks ahead of its release, it was tracking to open to 120 domestically. A week later, it was 145, followed by 165 on the eve of the film's May 23rd US debut. This is incredible. When a PG-rated film, a family film, can attract general audience, it's a recipe for magic. A Minecraft movie, the top grossing movie of the year to date, is another example. Also, a Super Mario Brothers movie and Wicked, or Disney's Aladdin. Other previous ones: Top Gun Maverick for Memorial Day openings, 160.5. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, 139. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 127. X-Men Last Stand, 122.9 million. This is incredible. So apparently people are really liking Lilo and Stitch, and it is a fun time at the movie theater. I'm not going to spoil anything. I would love to get into how I feel about the ending and what happens to the older sister of Lilo, but that will be for another time, as the movie is still fresh and I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone. But obviously, this bad boy is making all the monies. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I think it is a great time at the movie theater. It's not going to rewrite the wheel or make you, discover, something you didn't know about Lilo and Stitch. However, it is nostalgic. If you grew up with the film, it gives you a lot of the feels. If you have young kids, they get introduced to Stitch and Lilo. So I think it's a win-win all around. Obviously, this bad boy is steamrolling the box office, and it, I think, will definitely hit the $1 billion mark. The Tuesday run was already the biggest Tuesday of all time. So if you haven't seen it, jump down in the comments and let me know. Are you going to see Lilo and Stitch? Have you seen it and you liked it? You maybe didn't like it so much, but at least we have the animated movie. Hit me in the comments below. I'm curious to know what you think. All right, guys. With that down, I want to get into this. So we have heard that HBO has been hot in casting the new Harry Potter TV series. We got rumblings of John Lithgow being Dumbledore, upon Nick Frost being Hagrid, and a few more adult castings. But we were wondering who is going to be our Harry, Hermione, and Ron. And now we have our cast. This comes to us from IGN.com. HBO has announced the cast for the key roles of Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The newcomers are Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter in the middle, Arabella Stanton as Hermione Granger on the left, and Alistair Stout as Ron Weasley on our right. There isn't much to say because these kids haven't done a ton. And even so, they're kids. Take it easy on them. They have big shoes to fill. They know it. And they just won the role of a lifetime. So give them their praise and let's just be happy for them. However, I did hear with the actress that plays Hermione Granger, she was just playing Matilda on West End. And I think this bodes very well for the character because even though they are young, Hermione is the more mature person in the trio. And so this actress already has such a big role under her belt on the stage. And so I think that's fantastic that she's going to be a little bit more seasoned when it comes to big time acting, headlining Matilda on West End, which is, England's Broadway. So I think that is fantastic. And also, if you look at the descriptions and the pictures in the book, even though there isn't a ton, this is exactly how Hermione is described, with the teeth out, the cute little smile. This is Hermione in spades. So I am so excited. I think this is a great way to do Harry Potter. I know Chris posted on TikTok kind of posing the question, does a TV show diminish the IP of Harry Potter? I don't think so, because we've already had the movies, and this is HBO. This isn't an HBO Max original, something like that. This is HBO producing, with the best producers in the game behind Succession. So I think this is going to be fantastic. And the movies didn't get to adapt the books 100%. There's only so much you can do in 2 hours. And, the original Harry Potter director from the first two spoke on this previously. So I think doing a season per book is a great way to tell all of the story that is encompassed within the books. And I'm just excited that now we have our trio and we're ready to roll. You know what I mean? So I can't wait. I am so excited. I think this is going to be a Game of Thrones level TV show where everyone's going to be talking about it, including the kids, the parents. I mean, talk about 4 quadrants. This thing is going to hit it all. The action of it all, the kids, the nostalgia from the adults that grew up with the originals. I mean, I really think we're in for a treat. And I think these 3 are in for a ride of their lifetime that's going to last them at least 8 years. So this is our trio. We're going to grow up with them, protect them at all costs, because we live in a day and age where social media is terrible to young people, especially. So let's give them our blessing. Let's ride with them till the end. And let's get excited for Harry Potter on HBO. Let's go. All right, guys. With that down, I wanted to get into our main topic today. And that is the news that dropped this week that Mark Ruffalo will star as Hulk in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. And this comes to us from Fandom Wire. They're reporting that not only is Mark Ruffalo going to reprise his role as Hulk in Spider-Man Brand New Day, but it may be a bigger role as Peter Parker navigates life after loss. Will Hulk be a hero or a threat? So, according to early reports, the movie will explore Peter's new path after the events of the last movie. But what's interesting is that Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner might also play a bigger role with new developments in his story. If true, this film could mark a new beginning for both Spider-Man and the Hulk, and possibly open the door to exciting new directions in the Marvel Universe. And they give us a little bit more on the situation. They say, it seems like Mark Ruffalo isn't done smashing yet. The fan favorite actor set to return as Bruce Banner in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it may be more than just a cameo. As per NPN reports, Ruffalo will have a meaningful role in the film. Banner's last appearance was in She-Hulk: Attorney at Law, where he helped his cousin Jennifer Walters navigate her transformation to She-Hulk after a freak accident mixed their blood. He took on the mentor role, guiding her through the ups and downs of gamma-powered life. By the finale, Banner surprised fans by showing up with his son, Scar, born on the distant planet Sakaar, a throwback to Thor Ragnarok. He could also take this form to Brand New Day and act as a guide for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. If rumors stand true, let me put this bad boy in here. If rumors stand true, then Ruffalo will be stepping into his 10th mainline MCU project, He's also set to appear in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, which means fans are likely to see more of Banner. While Marvel's keeping the details of his role in Brand New Day tightly under wraps, fans can expect much more than what they have seen previously. Whether he's lending Peter Parker some scientific knowledge, teaming up in a battle, acting as a mentor, Banner's presence promises to shake things up. They're also saying that we could possibly see Savage Hulk as the main threat to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Brand New Day. Although it would be heartwarming to see Hulk step into, more of a helpful role for Peter Parker as he's lost everything, it would be equally disturbing to watch him smash a broken Peter even more. And this might be true, according to new leaks via cosmicbook.com. The Savage Hulk, the raw, uncontrollable, batshit crazy version of Bruce Banner, is set to appear in the film as the main villain. This is all speculation. And also, as we know, rumored villains are also in the movie Scorpion, Boomerang, Tombstone, Tarantula, potentially Lady Chameleon, also Mr. Negative. So there's a lot of other rumored villains that should be in this. If all those are in it, it'll be, I think, the most villains in a Spider-Man movie. So I think there's some hammering of the details to be worked out, but it seems like at least we know we are definitely getting Mark Ruffalo starring as Bruce Banner and Hulk in Tom Holland's Thor. Now, the question is, do I want Mark Ruffalo's Hulk as a mentor or as a villain? I do not want him as a villain. I think, coming hot off the heels, as my boy Chris says, on Captain America 4, we already got an opposing Hulk type figure. I just think people might be a little bit tired of it. And I think there's still more ways that you can use the Hulk and Bruce Banner. And I know a lot of people were diving into this scene in Spider-Man 4. I'm sorry, in Spider-Man Brand New Day in the comics that could translate a little bit into Spider-Man 4. If you can't read, basically this is a scene where Hulk says, "What are you doing, Peter?" And Peter says, "Just to give you a big hug." And he's super happy that Hulk was not in form. It was Mark Ruffalo's Banner at the time where everyone forgot. So Hulk actually remembers Peter Parker. And so he's hella happy that this one person, he says, "Wait, did you just call me Peter? You made everyone forget who you are. Banner forgot, but I don't forget." And then he says, "Great, glad a rampaging monster knows my identity. No offense." And then he's like, "None taken." And then he's like, "Banner brought you back?" And he's like, "Yes." So that's a little fun scene. I feel like they could play a little bit in Spider-Man 4. It would be interesting if we get kind of the Hulk from Ragnarok, one that has the rage capabilities, but is cognizant of who he is and who he's interacting with. That would be fantastic. And to have someone be able to remember Peter as Spider-Man, but it's this raging Hulk monster, I think there's some fun stuff that you can play with there. I don't know how they can make that like part of the whole movie, but I really think there is some great writing to be had. I think it's a fine line, and I think that it could be overplayed and maybe not done well, but I'm really hoping they take a lot of care of Spider-Man 4 because this is supposed to be, the new beginnings of Spider-Man as an adult. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been through so much, and the trajectory in the Home trilogy, I think, was a lot on his character. And so, one, there's a lot of opportunity here to have Spider-Man be a little bit more grounded, but it seems like we're doing a lot of grounding and then throwing in a Hulk. Like Captain America 4 is supposed to be grounded. He's fighting a major Hulk. Spider-Man 4, supposed to be grounded. He's fighting Hulk or he's teaming with the Hulk. I don't know. So I feel like whether it's fighting with or fighting against, there's more that you can do with the whole character, with him knowing Peter Parker. I think there's some fun stuff to play with that. So that is for a better writer, obviously. But I think there's a lot of stuff that you could do there. And I am so excited. I think Mark Ruffalo as Hulk is one of the best castings in the MCU. It's unfortunate because of the rights issues that he never got his own movie per se, but his trajectory in the movies that he has co-starred in has been fantastic, especially in Ragnarok. And we're going to get to Ragnarok in a second, but his trajectory leading up to and then within Ragnarok is so good. And then it continues in, you know, Infinity War and Endgame. We've seen so much of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, and it said this would be the 10th film, I think, that he's in without having a movie that he starred in. I think that's incredible. So I'm super excited to see his trajectory continue. I know they won't do it so much that it takes away from Spider-Man's, story within this movie, but I really think there is some fun stuff that you can do with the Hulk, and I'm so curious to see how they use it. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is a positive or a detriment to the story of Spider-Man 4? Are you as excited as I am to see Mark Ruffalo return as this character because you enjoy him as the Hulk? Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, guys. We talked a lot about the Hulk, a lot about the MCU, and a little bit about Ragnarok. And I want to get into this. So our boy Chris Hemsworth gave us a post yesterday online that made us feel like this might be the end for Chris Hemsworth's Thor, the God of Thunder. It was recently confirmed that Chris Hemsworth was reprised his role as Thor in Avengers Doomsday, and the actor has now shared a video titled "Thank You: The Legacy of Thor," prompting speculation that he might be preparing up the camp. This comes to us from comic book movie. Oh, playing a commercial. This comes to us from comicbookmovie.com. They're saying that the video features clips behind the scenes footage and interview segments from Hemsworth's tenure as the MCU's God of Thunder. It includes shots from the 4 solo Thor movies, as well as Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity Wars, and Avengers Endgame. He says, playing Thor has been one of the greatest honors of my life. For the last 15 years, I've held Mjolnir and then Stormbreaker as the God of Thunder. But what made it truly special was sharing it with all of you. Your passion, your cheers, your love for this character have meant everything to me. Thank you for making my journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe unforgettable. Next up, Doomsday. It certainly sounds like he's bidding farewell to the character here, but it's generally assumed that Hemsworth will also appear in Secret Wars. So, does he know something that we don't know? Is he going to meet his doom and, as CBM puts it, join his ancestors in Valhalla in Doomsday? Because it seems that he's saying goodbye publicly pretty preemptively. So it's very interesting that we're getting this goodbye so soon. Hemsworth has previously suggested that it might be time to kill the character. He said, I feel like we'd probably have to close the book if I ever did it again. You know what I mean? I feel like it probably warrants that. I feel like it'd be probably the finale, but that's not based on anything anyone's told me or any sort of plans. You have this birth of a hero, the journey of a hero, and then the death of a hero. And I don't know, am I at that stage? Who knows? Um, you know, both movies, or I'm sorry, both movies will be directed by the Russo brothers, who did, as we know, the best movies that Marvel has done in Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and now they will take on Doomsday and Secret Wars. And so even the Russo brothers have gave us great Thor moments, in Infinity War, give me Thanos, or, that line, his moments with Rocket and Groot and the Guardians were so good. And then in Endgame, that Thor was amazing. What a big swing. So we've seen him through so many iterations. And it's quite an achievement to have played this character so long and to play so many different versions of this character. And so I'm really sad to see him go, but I think Chris Hemsworth as Thor was such a treat for us Marvel fans. From the beginnings of this, cocky kind of D-bag version to, the Thor Ragnarok of it all, and the grizzled lost everything out in the space adventure, to previously mentioned the fat Thor who's just traumatized and has gone through so much. So he's given us so many flavors of Thor. Yes, I didn't mention Love and Thunder because that movie was not good. There might be some good parts in there, but man, this is the perfect representation of Thor. And I, for one, salute you, Mr. Hemsworth, for all the moments that you've given us as this iconic character. And I really, really love Thor in the MCU. It was a cornerstone. Whereas Iron Man, Captain America were cornerstones. I think these were the big three. And so to finally see him hanging up the cape, it is bittersweet. Is it going to happen in Doomsday? That is the question, because as we know, Doomsday is shooting right now. Did he already wrap filming? I don't think so. We haven't heard anything. So it's quite interesting that he's doing this big farewell right now. Is it supposed to be, did he get permission and it's supposed to be a farewell? So it's a surprise when we see him one last time in Secret Wars. Does he have a beautiful moment and a beautiful send-off, meeting Loki again and seeing how far his brother has come? I mean, there's so many moments that you could do to like give this such a nice bow and wrap up this character. So I think I'm excited. I'm sad. It's bittersweet, but I really think that we are still in for some treats when it comes to even Chris Hemsworth's farewell to Thor. So it's interesting that he gave this huge farewell while he's still filming. Is it telling that maybe he's not going to be in Secret Wars? I am so curious. So let me know what you think. Do you think this is a sign that Doomsday is done for when it comes to Chris Hemsworth, God of Thunder? Did you love Thor as a character? Did you not like him? Is this bittersweet? Do you think that this is a tease and he's coming back in Secret Wars 100%? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sad to see our boy go, but I am super thankful for the journey that we went on with him. All right, guys. That is it for the stories. I'm looking through, at the end of the episode, we usually do a data dump, look on X, see if there's anything that kind of came out while we are, on the show. I am seeing My Time to Shine Hello saying that Sinners 2 is happening. Take this with a grain of salt, but I would love it. I'm also seeing that Dr. Sasquatch is releasing a limited edition men's soap called Sydney Sweeney's Bathwater Bliss in collaboration with Sydney Sweeney. So if you want to bathe with her bathwater, be my guest. Kind of gross. I am also seeing that there's been a lot of promotion for Superman. We're seeing a lot of promotion with Nicholas Hoult and David Corn Sweat. I'm also seeing that Empire released some first looks at Silver Surfer and Galactus on the cover for its latest issue for Fantastic Four First Steps. So there's a ton of stuff, nothing too crazy. And the first Megan 2.0 popcorn bucket has been released. So there's some stuff, nothing too crazy. I'm hearing that HBO spinoff about the Joker starring Barry Keoghan might still be in the works. Take this with a grain of salt. So nothing too crazy, but that's it. Let me know. Drop a comment. Did I miss anything? Is there anything that come out since this episode has dropped that you think we should definitely talk about? I want to let you guys know on Sunday, we are going to have our first guest host on the show. So we will not be doing a show on Friday. I want to save anything that comes out between now and then for the show on Sunday. So we have some fun stuff to talk about. But we are getting our first guest host on the show in the form of Jordan with Chainsaw Reacts. If you haven't checked out his show, his channel, Chainsaw Reacts, great show. He has a lot of good content, a lot of good reviews, a lot of good deep dives into shows and movies that have come out or ones that we love. So I am so excited to get Jordan on the show. It's our first guest host. So take it easy on us. There might be some, bumps along the road, but I'm so excited to get someone fresh and new on the show and get their perspective. We're going to have a really fun time. So we're going to go on Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to go for about an hour, talk about some fun stuff, talk about his channel and how he got started, maybe give us some advice because we're still in our humble beginnings and he's been doing it for quite a while. So stay tuned. Tune in on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for me and Jordan from Chainsaw Reacts to go over some fun stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I want you guys to be a part of this community. I want to hear from you. I want to start the conversations. I want to see you guys have the conversations because that is the best part about this. Everything is subjective. You might love it. You might hate it, but your opinions matter. And I want to hear it on the show. So comment, like, subscribe, and thank you so much for hanging out. All right, guys, till Sunday, I will see you there. And that is the show. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Take care.